Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. I've got a very interesting and unusual transfer story for you today. It's about an 18-year-old Algerian kid called Ishak Boussouf. Ishak Boussouf. Now this is a story that appeared in Mercato 365. I think it was from a French journalist called Patrick Jouillard. And it's about this kid called Ishak Boussouf. I'm going to get his name right. Now, I've seen some videos of this kid play. I've had conversations with a couple of Algerians today. One, a very good journalist, and I'll repeat some of his comments. He put up a string of videos about this kid that he's actually been doing since at least 2018, when he was a junior. And this kid, I watched him play, and he's got some similarities, I reckon, with Brahim Diaz, with a bit of Patrick Roberts. He's got he's got a cultured left foot for a start, and he's got 2 feet actually, which is always great for a footballer to have 2 feet that he can play with. But it's an unusual transfer because of what's going on, and I still haven't got all the details. I'm trying to get a hold of Patrick Jouillard himself, so to see if he can explain a little bit more about this deal, because I'm trying to understand this deal from a publication in France, and then a lot of stuff in Arabic, which I'll openly admit I don't understand Arabic. I can read just a little bit, I know a few words, but I can't understand Arabic written in Arabic. So I'm having to rely on others to try and get to the bottom of this story. Now this kid is playing he's been playing in Algeria. He looks extremely exciting, but the talk is that it's a 5-year deal, and he signed with the City Football Group. Now that's an unusual thing. City Football Group, and some of you might be asking, who or what are the City Football Group? Now the City Football Group, very briefly, is centred around Manchester City, but it's a group of clubs basically either owned wholly by Manchester City, or partly owned, or mainly owned, or majoritarily owned. Okay, now you've got I don't remember them all. We've got that many clubs now. Okay, the main one is Man City. I think they're the only profitable one. They're the main club. You've got the MLS team, which is New York City FC. You've got Girona FC in in Spain. You've got Melbourne City FC. You've got Yokohama Mariners in Japan. You've got, it used to be Club Atletico Talk in Uruguay. For the moment, I forgot what they changed their name to. And we've also got, I think, Mumbai City FC in India. We've got a club in China, and I could never remember pronounce their name, so I'm not even going to try again. And we've got a club in Belgium called Lommel SK. Now this is all linked in with Lommel SK and CFG and Manchester City. Okay, now let's look at this kid. Okay, before we look at his attributes, let's look at the convoluted deal. Now it says he's on a 5-year contract for €900,000. Now that's a fair bit of money for an 18-year-old kid who's only made a handful of appearances in the Algerian league. But I tell you what, guys, go and look at those videos on YouTube, and you'll see a very exciting young player. Now the talk is he's going to go. Lommel SK are in the 2nd division in Belgium. Okay, now the talk is that Ishak Boussouf will go not to Lommel to start with. He's actually going to go immediately out on loan to a club called KF Kortrijk, who are in the 3rd tier of Belgian football. Okay, now you've got to remember this kid has made a remarkable progress this year, and the hope is that he can continue to make remarkable progress in Belgium. So he's going to start off at KF. He's going to start off at KF Kortrijk, as I said, in the 3rd tier there. And the hope is, and I'm not sure exactly about the veracity of some of these things, that he will move on to PSV and then on to Man City if he's good enough after three seasons. Now, it's a lot. I mean, this was in Arabic, so I'm not saying take it with a pinch of salt, but you have to be a little bit cautious. But I think this was from his club, so I think the idea is that he'll come to KV Kortrijk. Then he'll move through in Belgium, and then if he's good enough, he comes to Man City, or he ends up at Lommel SK. Now, either way, whatever happens, whether he makes it through all the way to Manchester City, or he doesn't make it and he ends up playing with Lommel SK. I mean, the kid coming from Algeria, you know, he's going to be set for life. So it's a great move for him. Maybe the money, what I'm reading, the money should have been higher because the kid has such huge potential. And from one Algerian journalist who I do really respect, called Walid Ziani, and he basically said that they should have got a lot more for him because there's a lot of French clubs looking at this kid. But I think the lure of being as part of the CFG, the City Football Group, knowing that Manchester City are basically at the head of all that, is extremely attractive. Now the kid, another reason, let's look at briefly the reasons he's gone to Belgium. He's a very small kid, okay, very slight, he needs to develop physically, and also he wouldn't get a work permit to come to play at Man City. He'd need to play for Algeria first, or to be a much bigger player, and who's going to be integral to the team. We saw that with Douglas Luiz. For 2 years we couldn't get a work permit for the kid. He hadn't played for Brazil, and that was for us at that time, that was a clincher. If he'd played for Brazil, I think we'd have got a work permit. But Aston Villa could get a work permit, even though he hadn't played for Brazil. We told him to Aston Villa, simply because they said he's going to be an integral part of our team. He's going to play in the first team, whereas City couldn't say that, guarantee that, and everything else. So Ishak Boussouf couldn't come straight to City at 18 years old and go, and play for us. He's outside the EU, even though we're going to be outside the EU very, very soon. So there's work permit issues. So what I'm going to do is go through some of the attributes of this kid and why he excites me, the same way I got excited when I saw Patrick Roberts play, the same way I got excited when I saw Brahim Diaz play, and I thought, wow, especially with Brahim Diaz, this kid is going to go to the top. That's what I thought. I thought he had that potential. He reminded me of Messi. And Ishak Boussouf, in the few 10 minutes or so of videos I've seen of him, he excites me in a very, very similar way, and people believe he's got even more potential than Brahim Diaz, who's obviously, since he moved to Real Madrid, it's not really happening for him. But Ishak Boussouf, he looks extremely excited. That's why I'm excited making this video. Okay, so he's an attacking midfielder. He looks like he can play with either foot. His speed, his technique, his vision, and he's got that special touch of a great player. That was what Walid Ziani saying this. His speed, technician, vision, and that touch of a special player. Okay, I've seen it myself. His dribbling, his acceleration, his superb quality of passing. He's a pure nugget, and he's been followed by many French clubs. I think that was Patrick Jouillard who said that. I'm reading from what, some of the videos that Walid put online. He said at 17 he stood out again during a game with his technique, his vision. He's a youngster with enormous potential. He has confidence. He's very happy to take other people on. You know, he was playing, and when he was 17, he was playing with much older players. And so the idea is, as I said, he's going to join Man City. But as Walid said, he needs to develop physically, okay? But he's definitely got the skills. He needs to develop. He's a very slight lad. He looks very skinny, very small in stature, and he's going to have to bulk up a little bit. But you never know. I mean, Raheem Sterling's not exactly a big chap. David Silva, he's not exactly a big chap. Same as Bernardo Silva. So you can be slight and you can make it. But I just think he needs a little bit more experience. He's not played enough in Algeria. But the qualities he's shown, guys, please go and check out Walid Ziani. Go and check out Patrick Jouillard on Twitter and on YouTube. Go and look at some of these videos of Ishak Boussouf and tell me what you feel when you see him play. He has that. He has the skill. There's no doubt about it. And yes, I've always said you've got to be a little bit cautious when watching YouTube videos, because you can get carried away by watching just the best moments of a player. And you know, we can see, for instance, if you saw Joe, an All City player, or some others, when you see 2 or 3 minutes of their best skills, you think, wow, these guys are great. When you see them over 90 minutes, you realize what they're really like. So go and have a look on YouTube and make up your own mind, and comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Ishak Boussouf is good enough? Maybe in 2 or 3 years time. We are projecting here, but hey, there's nothing wrong with dreaming. There's nothing wrong with getting excited when you see what looks like an exceptional talent coming through. And I've been watching some Algerian football over the last couple of years now, ever since, probably even longer, since I was living in France, because I've got a few Algerian friends, Algerian journalist friends or scouts, and they will mention a certain player. You know, I did a YouTube video probably over 2 years ago about a guy called Youssef Attal. No one's had ever heard of him. You watch Yusuf Attal, he's absolutely fantastic. So, you know, it is useful to watch different kinds of football. I haven't got time to watch all the football that I'd like to, but you know, if you've got people you can trust, like journalists and scouts, you know, not tipping you the wink about certain players, it's always interesting to go and watch them and see how they're playing. This kid, go out, please go out and check him online, see what he's like, see what he's about. He does look an exceptional talent, very, very special, and let me know what you think. Guys, if you're new to this YouTube channel, it would be absolutely fantastic if you could support us simply by subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out, so you don't miss a single thing. We're putting out videos every single day, usually 2 or 3 videos every single day at the moment. There's a lot of news going on about City. Obviously, we've got the Court of Arbitration for Sport appeal coming up, the draw for the Champions League, finishing off the Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League programme. There's going to be, I think, several big transfers in the summer, ins and out, what's going to happen to Pep. So much news about Man City, so much news about Algerian players. You know, we're already got Riyad Mahrez, we're looking at Houssama apparently. You know, there's been a lot of links with him. There's been links with Ismail Benasser. Yusuf Attal's gotten mentioned once or twice, especially by me. So there's lots going on around Manchester City. So as I said, if you can subscribe, hit that bell icon, you won't miss a beat here, whatever's going on with Manchester City.